Hi, my name is Dave Jones. I'm a volunteer for the Alzheimer's Association, as well as an advocate for the Alzheimer's Impact Movement. Today, we're going to interview a participant in the Alzheimer's Ride to End Alzheimer's in the Mass, New Hampshire area. Just to give you a little background on the ride, it was started by the Noonan family in 1996. As a fully supported one-day fundraising event to directly impact the pace and momentum behind the fight to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia. The participants and volunteers raised critical funds and awareness to bring us 1 mile closer to a cure for this pretty devastating disease. The ride is now in its 26th year and has raised over $7.5 million, which is pretty impressive, to directly advance research towards the first survivors of Alzheimer's. We have with us a rider in this event who's got the jersey on and everything. I want to welcome Robbin Price, and Robbin's going to give us a little inside info on what it's like to ride in this thing and maybe share some of her personal story. Actually, and I want to know if Robbin, if you're in a team, I'd like to know who the team is.
All right, sure.
Take it away, Robbin.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me here tonight. I always enjoy talking about this ride. It's very meaningful for me. As you know, my name's Robbin Price, and I actually was living in New Hampshire, but I recently relocated to Nashville, Tennessee. So I will be making the drive up north for the June 4th ride, and I'm looking forward to it. This will be my 4th year riding in the Ride to End Alzheimer's. I got involved because my mother passed away from complications due to Alzheimer's in 2014. So my first year riding was 2019. And honestly, it took me 5 years to be able to go to an event that was strictly focused on the Alzheimer's because it was so emotional for me. But in 2019, I said, I'm going to continue to donate, but I need to get involved myself. So I signed up for the ride, and it was magnificent. I just loved every moment of it, being with all of these other riders and volunteers, staff members, all there together for the same reason and for the same cause. And now 2 years I've been riding virtually. I rode my furthest distance last year virtually, and I also raised the most amount of money. So I'm very proud of that. I rode 62 miles and raised just about $14,000 last year. So it was a very meaningful year for me for a lot of different reasons. My father passed away from complications due to dementia. It wasn't Alzheimer's, and I got a lot of family photos on my jersey. I have an uncle who we lost from dementia, and both my sister-in-laws have lost a parent either to Alzheimer's or to a form of dementia. So it's very close within my family, and very meaningful to me to be involved in this. I joined, after my first year riding, I joined the planning committee because I was so passionate about the ride and wanting to do something to help make a difference. And raising these critical dollars for research, 90% of it goes to research, I think is fantastic. So I'm going to keep riding and keep fundraising and keep trying to spread awareness about the ride and about what the Alzheimer's Association does and all of the programs and services as well. We have the toll-free number that people can take advantage of. And I always try and share that because it's staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if people want to call to get information about the programs and services, or just ask some questions about where to get more information on Alzheimer's disease, they can call 1-800-272-3900. But appreciate being here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a great ride on June 4th. Really excited to be back in person. I think for all of us, it's been hard being away for 2 years, but to be back together, riding in person is, that much more meaningful for all of us.
Now, logistically, for people who, geez, I don't think I can ride. I mean, all types and skills levels can ride, correct? I mean, it's not, you don't have to be a bikey, right?
Yeah, no, that's the beauty of it is we get a lot of people who sign up for the 30-mile ride. So there's the 30, the 62, and then the 100-mile. And the 30-mile ride, we get a lot of people who have just started cycling, and it's a very achievable distance. There is time. I will tell you, I have gone on a fundraiser having not trained at all and ridden 30 miles. My body regretted it the next day, but I was able to finish it. So it can be done without training, but I do not recommend that. I recommend trying to get out there and get a few rides under your belt. And for people who aren't able to join on June 4th, we do have the virtual rider option, which is fantastic. So we have people from Italy, a big group that are going to be participating virtually. So they'll do their own ride, whether it's on outdoor cycling or indoor spinning. I've had some friends who participate virtually and they walk because they don't cycle, but they want to be involved and raise funds for the association. So that's the distance that I recommend for anyone who's just a casual cyclist. In fact, my niece just recently moved to the Boston area and she signed up. She's about to go get a bike. She doesn't bike ride. She runs, she does some other sports, but she registered for the 30-mile and she'll be fine. She'll have a great time. And I hope it's the beginning of something for her to be involved every year in the ride. I think once you participate in it, you see how much your participation can make an impact, and getting out there and exercising, right? I mean, that's so good for all of us, good for our bodies and good for our brains.
Plus, I guess I haven't done it myself. I've only done it virtually, but I guess the course is kind of nice. It's by the ocean, and you know, it's not like you're on city streets. It's I understand it's pretty nice, pretty good ride. So you know.
Yeah, and this year we've got a new, well, it was supposed to be last year, but then we went virtual because of COVID, but we'll be at the Hampton Beach State Park. And that's where the barbecue will be at the end, and it's right there on the beach. So it's a fantastic location. And for anyone who is not interested in physically riding, but wants to volunteer, we definitely need volunteers for lots of different roles, whether it's a bike, if it's a authorized bike tech, or a medical volunteer, or someone who wants to be a cheerleader at one of the pit stops, or handing out water and Gatorade and snacks, or being at the finish line and cheering people through when they finish. We're always looking for volunteers. And if anyone's interested, they can sign up on the website and express interest in what area they would like to volunteer in and what their time commitment would be that day. But I know I always try and get riders to get their family and friends to volunteer and at a pit stop, because there's nothing like pulling into a pit stop and seeing a familiar face to cheer you on. So I think very often we do get family and friends who like to be there so that they can see their friends or spouses or kids roll into the pit stop.
Wow. Oh, and of course there's a URL, and the URL is ridetoendalzheimers.org. If you want to know more about the ride, you can join up, you can donate, you can, everything you want to know is there and then some. So yeah, really, it's obviously a great fundraiser, and to help us to find, we keep going. We're trying to what we call find patient zero, which is if you know anything about the walk to end Alzheimer's, we're adding the new flower, the white flower, which represents the first patient, patient zero we call it, and hopefully we're getting closer and closer to finding that. So anything else you want to add? Nah.
Well, I'm trying to think what else. I just hope that if the people are available on June 4th, that they'll either come out to volunteer or sign up to ride. I think there's nothing like giving yourself a challenge, whatever that may be. Mine last year was 62 miles, but for a lot of people, it's 30 miles. Maybe they've never ridden a bike, but to be able to get on the bike and and get out there. And what a beautiful scenery. I mean, the ride is spectacular. So even if you're feeling a little sore, the scenery will keep you motivated, in addition to the cause, and certainly all the cheerleaders along the way. So we're hoping for good weather. We can't guarantee that. We go rain or shine. But I think everybody always says, it may not, if it's not the perfect weather we're hoping for, it's still a great ride, and it's a great time together to come back at the end and enjoy the barbecue and look at the ocean. And for those who like a cold beer, and you've earned it.
What's not to like? Come on. Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Hope people will absolutely donate. We'll give all the links at the end of this. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. This was great. Thank you for having me, and nice to talk about the ride. I can't wait for June 4th. Got to get myself out on my bike a little bit more between now and then, but looking forward to it.
Well, I definitely have to do something because I got nothing. Thanks. Bye.